How are you doing? What happened with that energy?
How are you doing?
Good.
Yes, that's the
A lot
attitude.
better.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Humberto. I am Microsoft MVP in Visual Studio and Technologies. I used to be Xamarin MVP. I love MVP, Xamarin, and .NET. And what are you? What about you, Luis? Your name is on that slide.
My name is on the slide. My name is Luis Beltran. I am also a Microsoft MVP in Developer Technologies. I also love Xamarin. And well, we work with .NET technology. We think that C# and well, all these technologies related are quite awesome. So today we are going to talk about how to deploy a local bot with a bot framework and Luis Docker containers. I think it's a great combination of technologies, and it covers several scenarios that we will discuss during the session. We would like to thank you for being here, for attending this presentation, and we hope that you enjoy the slides, the content, and everything involved in this session.
Okay, before we start, we have some questions. Questions are good to know about you. Who knows about virtual machines?
Virtual machines, okay, more or less. Yes.
About Docker containers? Okay.
That's a good number.
About bot framework? Bot framework with Docker containers? Okay.
That's the idea of.
We have a lot of content about all the combinations.
Yes.
So let's start.
Okay. So during this session, we will cover or explain this scenario. Basically, sometimes companies develop an application. It can be mobile application, web application, desktop, UWP, you name it. And we need to communicate or establish a communication between the user and maybe a conversational chatbot. And sometimes this chatbot has to understand users' needs, users' messages. It has to extract intention or important data while the user is talking or writing a message. So the idea is that we can use a service, which is Luis, to understand these messages, and then we can extract the data and use it to communicate with other APIs or other services, such as Cognitive Services, a SQL Server database. We can translate this message into a query. And well, all this communication is managed by a channel. It can be direct line. In this case, we are going to explain or go through it. But so you may have heard about this Luis Cognitive Services, Azure SQL database. But the key role here is that we are going to Dockerize or include in Docker containers everything except the mobile application, because we would like to cover particular scenarios. Sometimes the companies have to be data compliant. They cannot send to the cloud or to external providers images or sensitive data. So they would like to, yes, leverage these services or the power of these smart services, but also they would like to process everything in-house, on the edge, on premises. So with Docker containers, with the support of these cognitive services, we can achieve that, and we are going to explain how this is connected. Basically, that's the idea of this presentation, how to include all these services in a Docker container. And for the ones that are not familiar with Docker containers, well, Humberto is going to share with us important or basic knowledge about it.
Okay, but I think always when we are talking about containers, we need to review what is a virtual machine. It's a kind of obligatory concept, and not a lot of people know about virtual machine here. So basically, we have some copies of operating systems that share your hardware of your physical machines, So the idea is to have different apps in different operating systems using the same infrastructure. So what about you care? You have to take care about some things like licenses, security, you have to update your machines, and it's a kind of crazy to manage all of that stuff if you want to run only a small application. Also, virtual machines are big in size, so it's crazy when you want to move that virtual machine to other side. On the other hand, we have containers. To be more precise, during this session, we are going to talk about Docker. Docker helps us to package and run applications in an isolated environment. So it's like virtual machines, but they only have what they need to run, not all of the stuff of a virtual machine. So we have less problems relating to licenses, security updates, security patches, and that kind of problems that we have with virtual machines. Also, Docker has support in several platforms like Linux, Windows, macOS, and in all of the most important cloud providers like Azure or AWS. When we are talking about containers, one important concept is the concept of images. An image is like a template for containers. When we are creating that images, we need to choose some layers that form the template. For example, if we are talking about a .NET Core applications, we need some layer with an operating system. Imagine a Linux distribution. After that, we can install the .NET Core SDK to compile the application. And after that, we have another layer to run the .NET application. And in this case, is the .NET Core runtime. So at the end, we have something like this. A container is the running image. When we are talking about images, we can think about the build process. And a container is when we are talking about running images. Okay. And also, another important thing about images is that they are read-only templates. What does it mean? That everything that we have in an image could be shared, could be
important.
Yes, you can reuse all of the layers in all of your containers. So the layer on the top in every container is a writable layer, and all of the stuff in the image is reused by all of the containers. So what are some of the advantages of a Docker container? Of course, the speed. During the demo, we will see how fast it is to create, run, or destroy containers. The reuse of components, we are talking about images, so we can see how easy it is to create an image and to reuse the components. And normally, when we are talking about containers and virtual machines, the containers are more lightweight than the virtual machines. Also, the portability is really important because unless you are highly coupled with some cloud provider like Azure, you can move your containers from one platform to another or from on-premises to the cloud. So it's really easy with containers like Docker or other platforms. Okay, Luis, what can?
Mm-hmm. So now we can make a pause about Docker containers and move to the artificial intelligence part of this presentation. So we have a Microsoft Bot Framework, which, well, you might have heard about it. The Bot Framework is a suite of components which allow developers to easily deploy, publish, develop, create bots, conversational chatbots, in matter of minutes and involving several technologies. One of these components is the Bot Framework SDK, which is currently in version number 4. This framework is available in C# and Node.js platforms. And well, the team is continuously improving it. There was a big change from version 3 to version 4. So I highly recommend you to check the documentation. It is straightforward. Sometimes, well, there are some issues, but the team is very active solving them.
And the SDK is open source.
Yes, and the SDK is open source, which is, of course, important. And, well, in our scenario, it was quite important because, well, Humberto will talk about it. He had to deal with some links and connections. So it will be an interesting part of the session. And, well, we use this framework to develop an application. We actually use a bot template, which is a Visual Studio extension available for 2017 and 2019 version. In the latest one, creates an ASP.NET web application. So it means that it can run on any platform, Linux, Mac, Windows, you name it. And in this application, of course, we add all the customers' business logic and data. Normally, we receive a message from the user. Say the bot is communicating with the user. And this message, this text, we usually connect it to a smart service such as Luis, which I will talk about in the next slide. So it can understand the user's intentions, important data, and needs. And after he extracts this useful information, we can connect it to other services, a custom API in any other language, cognitive service. We can even connect it to SQL server. We add the system.data, yes, or .NET or Entity Framework Core. We can use several technologies to obtain information, to do something with the text, with the input that the user sent. Of course, the messages can be in several forms, such as text, audio, video, images, of course. And we can then return a message or a result to the user back. And another important thing within bot framework is that we can send this message over several channels. We can use Facebook Messenger. We can use
Telegram,
Slack, Skype, Teams. There are several connectors. And if we want to include it in a custom application, we can use the direct line channel, which actually we use for this scenario, for this presentation. So basically, the bot framework comprises all these services. And they are integrated to create these powerful applications. One of the important components within the bot framework and the chatbot creation is the Microsoft Cognitive Services, which allows us to create or to infuse smart and intelligence in our applications. These are a set of APIs in several categories, such as vision, speech, language, search. There is a new one for decision and also for anomaly detection. So they are continuously improving and adding new functionality. They are pretty accurate. For instance, in vision, you can send a picture, face, and then it can return important information such as the age, the gender. We can also create a database of faces and then verify if this is a new user or it already exists in our database. In this case, well, we will talk a bit more about language because we will establish text communication between the bot and the user. So there is a language understanding, which basically analyzes the text and then retrieves intention, data, and some other important information. Okay, I will talk about it in the next slide. Okay, and these services are, there is a free plan service in order to use it in matter of seconds. Okay, so we mentioned that there is a language understanding intelligence service, which is called Luis, after me. Thank you, Microsoft. Just kidding. This service is quite easy to implement for natural language processing if we are not experts in this artificial intelligence field, when we can create, a project which understands the user's needs. How it works? Well, first of all, we create an application. We add an intent, which is what the user would like to do when they communicate with the bot or with the project. We call this intents. For each intent, we add something called utterances or examples. So we train this service by providing these examples. For instance, if we want to greet the bot, there are several examples such as hi, how are you, hello, natural conversation. Of course, in one specific language. They can support English, Spanish, and others. Sorry. In these messages, in these utterances, there can also be important information, such as a city, time, number, some specific pattern that we would like to extract or to obtain. This is called entities. And we can add these entities in our project. These entities can exist in different different intents or utterances. And after we train these, or we include several utterances, we train the project, and it gets an accuracy. So of course, we can improve it by adding more examples, by even retrieving or using the information after, let's say, we publish this project. The users start sending messages to this API because it actually exposes an HTTP endpoint. And we can use these new messages, this new input, to retrain our service so it can be smarter from time to time. And yeah, so we are basically creating a smart model, artificial intelligence-based model, capable of understanding natural language or natural communication. Okay? And so basically, now we get to the point in which we can combine our two topics, Docker support for cognitive services, in order to run on on-premises environments. As we mentioned in the beginning of our presentation, sometimes the companies might not have a fast internet connection, or they cannot send sensitive data to the cloud. You can maybe mention some example about banks or...
Yes, banks normally have to be PCI compliant, so you cannot share a lot of your information to the cloud. But also, when you are working with containers, you rely on your hardware and your local network, so that means you don't have to go to the internet and have to use the limitation of the cognitive services over Azure.
Yeah. So Microsoft late last year included support for cognitive services, some of the cognitive services. So we can deploy the image in a local container in our server, in our machines, to process these messages or pictures or multimedia data. So all the processing is local, and the results are the same. The results are the same as if we would send the data to the cloud, but with the advantage that this data was not sent to an external network.
Yes,
so this is
external entity like Azure, for example.
Yeah, because sometimes these companies don't want, or because of data compliance, they cannot send customers' data to these clouds or to external
Yes,
networks.
also Azure has some limitation in the pricing tiers related to the transactions per second. So if you are using Docker, you avoid that kind of limitations.
Okay, so we can.
And it's important to mention about the pricing plan of cognitive services that you need an internet connection to report the usage of your cognitive services. It's the only necessary to work with this kind of architecture.
Yeah, it sends some telemetry data.
It's only telemetry.
Yeah, that you made 5, 10 requests. That's the only thing that you need to send to the internet, to Azure. But the data stays in your local network.
Okay.
So how it works, the Azure Cognitive Services support with containers. Well, the images are available publicly and for free from either Microsoft Container Registry or Docker Hub. Most of the containers are public, except the Vision and Phase ones. They are in private repositories. Yes, they are also in preview. Yes, actually all of this is preview, but you can start using it. And well, if you would like to use this Phase or Vision containers, you have to fill out a form, and then the Microsoft team will get back to you. They ask why would you like to use it for commercial application, what kind of applications you are building.
Or how can you take advantage of Docker containers instead of the Azure offer?
Yeah, so they analyze in a case-to-case basis these submissions. But the rest of services, we will mention them, are available. Well, this is just the technical part, and Humberto will show it. We use Docker Pool to download a container image. This is for one image, but Humberto will combine several of them. And then we can run, with Docker run command, the container. Of course, even though it is in offline mode, we still need to accept the ULA, and we also need to provide a billing key and also the API key, so Azure can measure our usage. So we have to provide this in the when we run the container. Okay.
Okay. So let's see some code, and I think it's easier to understand containers when you see how they work. So let me change the screen.
So from this point, we will be technical part.
Yes, all of the information for this session is public in my GitHub, so you can take a photo of this URL.
We can provide the links if you.
Yes,
it's fine.
If someone wants the links.
Okay.
It contains all the scripts and the code of the bot, so
yeah, GitHub.
You can take a look later today or for reference. Okay, and if you remember our scenario, we have an architecture that uses 4 services: an SQL Server, Cognitive Services, a bot framework, application, and the bot service connector.
And also Luis. And also Luis. Well, you mentioned
yes, Luis as part of Cognitive Services.
Yes.
For this demo, we are using an SQL Server over Linux on Docker, of course, the Luis service on Docker, and .NET Core application running on Docker too. And I think the most important and the most challenging part of this demo was the bot connector, because normally when you are working with bots with Azure, you need to provisioning one services on Azure that let you to connect your bot with other platforms like Slack, Telegram, and other kind of messaging application.
And it's very easy.
And we are using the direct line connector. But what happened? Direct line is an HTTP API that you can use to connect your own applications using GET and POST requests. But the problem is that in Azure you need the internet connection, and we want to avoid that scenario. What we do was take an open source unofficial project. The name of the project is Offline Direct Line. It was created by Ryan Bollum.
I don't know if you happen to be here.
No?
But thank you very much for your project, because
Yes,
it was quite
it's
useful.
awesome, the project.
Yes,
It's a Node.js project, and as far as I know, it's based on the bot emulator framework code. The bot emulator framework code is on GitHub, so we can take the part related to the direct line connection. And the only difference between this project and ours is that we have the ability to configure the IP address of the client, because the Ryan's one has the IP address in code, so it means localhost. And what happens is when you send a request to the bot takes that IP address and use it to send the response. So if you have localhost, it will be broken at some time. So that's the only change of the version of our project and the Ryan's ones. And to create all of the services, we are using DockerCompose. DockerCompose led us to create multi-container applications with one script, and you have to use YAML. YAML is a simple language for scripts like this. This is the script for our current project, and it has 4 sections. The first one is the DockerCompose version. So you can see the documentation and see what differs between this version and other newer, or all this. Oh, the size is?
Yes.
Okay. We also have a part about services. Then we have the network. The network is important because we want to connect all the services in the same network. And the last one is the volumes section related to the database. So we are not going to talk a lot about this during the session, but it's a kind of philosophical doubts or something like that when you are talking if it's a good idea to have a database in a container. So it's nice to know about that subject. So of course the most important part here is the services part. So Luis told us about Luis and the containers, so we know that we have to set some environment variables like the AP key for the billing, the endpoint, and we have to accept the condition of the services. All of the services have similar configuration. For example, the SQL Server needs the password for the super users, the super admin. I have this super secure password. Don't try to use it in my applications, my email account. But the most important thing is that container has a port internally. We are exposing some port for web applications or the SQL Server. And we also need an external port, so we can map both ports. Not always they have to be the same. In this case, we are using the same. But imagine you need more than one instance of the container. So in the container of Luis, we always have to use the internal port 5000, but we can choose the external port to have more than one instances. And also it's important the name of the service, because we are going to use this to connect the services, because we don't know the IP address of the instance of the container. We can use this, and Docker manage all the stuff to connect the containers. So that's why in my bot I am using the other 2 containers, and in the environment variables I am setting up the ports and the name of the service. So internally, Docker changed this to the real IP address of the services. So it's easy. We have two kinds of services, image services. As far as I can explain, you put the URL of the image from the Docker registry or Docker Hub, and you get it and run as it is. And on the other hand, has the build services. And when we are talking about build, we need Docker file. A Docker file is the file that defines all of the layers of the image. Did you remember about the layers and the operating system, .NET SDK, and all of that? So I have this in this Docker file. I expose the ports, the internal ports. I use the environment variables. And I copy the source code of my bot to be published in the Docker file. In the case of SQL Server, it's similar, but what we do is to create the users, and we have to wait until the service starts, and after that we can run a set of scripts. We are using the Adventure Works script. Can you talk about?
Yes, Adventure Works is a database that you might have heard of. It's
like the Hello World.
Pretty well known. Yes, it's like Hello World of databases. Yes. So basically, we have information about order details, customers, products, sales, and several information. So basically, in our bot, the user will send a message, and it will be translated into insert, select statements based on this information provided by the users. And yeah, I think it's a pretty well-known database.
Okay, and we also have the direct line container that use the other services. So we can run our bot. But remember that when we are talking about images like this, like DockerCompose, we are talking about the build process. So we need to build and then run the containers. Let me show you in the console. I have this console, and I can do a build using the DockerCompose command.
DockerCompose Build.
Okay, DockerCompose Build. Oh, I need to change to this terminal because it has the path of the real project.
Creo que no están escribiendo.
Yes. Ahí está.
Yeah.
No.
There it is.
I don't know what is happening. Oh, it's.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
there.
DockerCompose builds. It starts the process. If we are using images from Docker registry, it will skip that. And in the case of the SQL Server, it runs the script that we define in the Docker file. After that, we have all of the images. So now we need to run all of the containers. It's similar. It's DockerCompose, and the command is up.
Yeah, so it will fire up all the containers included.
As you can see, a lot of logs from every container like this.
Yeah, there is a lot of important output. It is also important to mention that, since we already have the images locally in the machine, they are not downloaded again unless there is a latest new version. We can also specify a version that we would like to use in the script or in the while we are pulling these images. So in this case, that's why it is taking a few time or less time. But yeah, definitely at some point it has to download the images, but they are already there.
Yes, that's why it's really fast in this machine. Actually, that's why it's important to understand that an image has a lot of layers, because when one of the layers change, the next time you make a build, you only download that layer and not all of the image. And I can use CTOP. CTOP is an open source utility to see graphically statistics, or you can do some basic actions to the containers. You can see all of our containers here. Let me expand this. I have the bot, the direct line, Luis, and the SQL Server. So I can stop, restart, pause the containers, and I can see the usage of CPU or RAM. So it's nice. It runs on Linux and Mac. So we have a nice green indicators, so we can start to see how the bot works, and we can show you how it works in an iPhone.
Yep. So I think you can help me.
Yes, sure.
And to display the screen here. Then.
Okay.
So in order to showcase this for, let's say, a real case scenario, we develop a mobile application with Xamarin. So it runs under iOS and also Android.
Yes.
And it actually uses this, it establishes a connection with this local environment.
Yes, let me show the logs of the containers, because it is nice when it runs.
Yeah. So you can see that the bot sent a message, it is ready, but there is some output that is mentioned there. So let's type, or let's send a message to this bot. My name is, my email is, and then we send this one, luis@bot.com. So okay. This is sent to the bot endpoint. Yep. And you will see that there is an output, and then a response is retrieved.
Yes, and in the container logs, you can see the message here.
Yep.
So it's my name, my email is luis@bot.com.
Yeah. So in Bot Framework, we have something called activities. Activity is the, let's say, the set of properties that are sent and received from the bot. In the activity, there is text. There can be attachments. You will actually see. And of course, this data, the name, the company, are obtained from the SQL Server database. It understood the intention from the user. We will show the Luis and the database project, so you will see that this is not hard-coded in the project. We can maybe ask, okay, show me the top 5 products. Okay. Then it will understand and perform a query over the products table. Well, there is also a join with other tables, product category, product models. And you can see, okay, there was a processing message. This is an activity that we're sending in the bot. And then this collection of items, you can actually scroll horizontally. This is a nice control called collection view. If you are a Xamarin developer, it's quite nice. So you see the image, the product title, detailed information from this product, which is, of course, important. There are some products which have the no image available, but actually that's the base 64 string from the database. It is
this is a real image in the database.
That's the real image that is in this AdventureWorks database. And well, we also included a button which is add to cart, so you can actually type it. This is one action that you can perform in bots. It's not all about just text, but you can also perform some actions. And then again, we are sending a message, but with after tapping a button, and there is some activities. There is processing message done, and then an information. The product was added to the cart. What else would you like to do? So let's ask the bot again. Maybe I would like to know about bikes, because well, they send bikes. So maybe show me info or give me info about bike.
Okay, it's on.
Yep. So let's see what the bot has to say. Again, it is processing. And we again get a collection of items with the bike part in the name. We can scroll and maybe we order one of them, which is important for us. So you can maybe add another one to
another product.
Yep.
Okay, a new bike.
Yep.
For us.
And finally, maybe we want to place an order or to check out. So after it is sent, you can just check out.
Okay. Check out.
Yep. So we are done with our order. So we would like to get a receipt or summary of what we are going to pay. Again, it is processing. Okay, and there you have the receipt with the summary of the products that you just requested and the total amount that you have to pay. Okay.
Yes, we have good skills of design.
Yeah, and of course, there was output in our log. So now, maybe I can explain how this was built, let's say, from the developer part.
Okay, about the .NET Core bot application.
Yep, so, okay, we can start with the application.
Let me hide the cell phone.
Okay. Para hacerlo más grande. Okay. So first of all, we establish a connection to a local endpoint, which is this one. We are not sending over internet. This IP address is this machine.
Yes, we are using my cell phone to create the local network.
Yes, over data. Another important thing, we have activities, we have the conversation, which comprises everything that you just saw, the message, which is the text, JSON, everything is sent or works under JSON format. So, with C#, it is quite easy with newtons of .json serialization and deserialization methods. The nice user interface that you saw in the messages, they call it adaptive cards or cards. You can see here the models, but in the views, we have cells like the incoming activity indicator, which is basically the spinner that you saw and the message like processing or that it was done.
So it's a simple UI with summary forms.
Yes. We have a carousel cell to scroll over a collection of these items. You see the image, the label. Okay, so this is just developer stuff. You can, of course, develop other kind of application, not just summary. But then there is a backend part, which are the services. For direct line, there are three important methods. There is a start conversation, which is established at the beginning when we access the application. So there is the conversations method. The base address is our local endpoint, direct line endpoint, which is deployed in the container. So we have the conversations. We send a post request to actually establish the conversation, and when we obtain an ID, conversation ID, this conversation ID is used over the rest of the requests. For instance, we have the send message. This send message is used both by the user and by the bot for communication purposes.
Yes, to exchange the conversation.
Yes, and after we send a message to the bot, we normally make a GET request. We consult or receive the activities that are new in the conversation, so we can show them later. It is important to mention also that, well, this JSON structure or content includes something called reply to ID, because every time we consult these received activities, we get all the conversation log, but we only want to extract the newest message, which is replied to this specific conversation.
Yes, actually every message has an ID an identifier for the specific request and response.
Yes. So this is just the user interface. This is the application. Now we can move or explain the bot framework project.
Okay.
Yes,
I think this. We need a new instance.
Okay. So this bot application is based on the web template. Bot template.
Yes.
Yes, and bot framework SDK. As we mentioned earlier, all the business logic and communication with the other services is coded there. So we can start checking that, okay, we have here the, Luis service, conversation data. You can see some properties, channel ID. What else we have? Okay, we have products, product model. Yep, here. These are the models to obtain the data from the database, and we actually have services here. This is the bot.
Yes, this is.
Yes.
Like that.
Sorry.
It's like.
Yep. Okay. Here. Yeah. For instance, you can see here that when we retrieve a specific intent, let's say product info intent, that the user wants to know about top 5 products or bike, or mountain bike, water bottle, etc., we check for this intent and then check if there is a specific entity. I will show the Luis project when we actually obtain this. And let's say that if the user requests for a specific product info, we can send this message that you saw in the mobile application: our top 5 products are, or your query return the following products, and then we use product name, let's say. We have here this method, dbHelper get products, and in this get products, you see that we establish a connection to a database. We have a data source, user, password, and the AdventureWorks database. And these are the queries. Select.
So simple queries.
Yeah, simple queries. Maybe they are optimal or not. Well, that's another subject. There are experts for that.
Is it good for a demo?
Yes, for another demo. But you can see all the information that we extract. There is also, like for instance, when the user provides the email, we have the email intent, and we send this email. There is a query for it, again, to the customer database. Here this is the where condition. We return an object, and we send it back to the user. How we send it back to the user? Well, we actually built a hero card, but in the end, this is sent as a JSON content. So we have to analyze it in the mobile application and then create the user interface. There is no, let's say, adaptive cards for Xamarin yet, but there are for other channels
like web chat, for example.
Web chat, yes, Skype, and so on. So basically, all the activities that you saw there are here. Yes, I was going to explain that you saw the spinner or the activity indicator, where that's actually a typing activity. Is this one, typing? Second declaration. Yeah, this typing is create typing activity. It's already included in the SDK.
Yes, typing is like when you are on Facebook Messenger and the other part is writing and you see
The
three
two
little dots
Yeah. Yep.
with a nice animation.
Yeah. So basically, in this bot class, cognitive bot, we call it cognitive bot, we include all this processing of information. An important part of it, of course, is the LUIS application.
And we come back to the bot.
Yes.
I think there is something important in the bot. The configuration part is really important because in development we have some information. We have this JSON app settings
Yes.
with all of the information for a development environment. So I am using all on my machine. But when we are working with containers, if you remember in the Docker file and in DockerCompose, we have a lot of variables defined using the information that this file has. For example, I use LUIS here, and then in some services, I am using the same ID or the same name. So
Reference.
app settings is for development, and we can create a custom class that receives the environment configuration, and when the Docker container runs, it can inject all of the information to the bot in the production environment or a different development environment. I think it is important to know.
Yes. You might ask, okay, so where is LUIS or how it is used? Well, on the LUIS.ai website, we can create an application. This one, AdventureWorks bot. And when we create the application,
It's like play a game.
Yeah, it's like playing a game. Not working. Okay. So here you have internet. You have the dashboard. Okay. Okay. Or is it yeah, maybe. Okay. We can on LUIS we can add these intents such as add to cart, login, place order, product info. These are later analyzed in the web application project. For each intent, we add at least 5 examples or utterances, such as, okay, how the user might ask that they want to add an item to the cart.
Yes,
so,
of course, the most examples, the better.
Yes, because it's part of the training. So they might say, place product number 2 in the cart. Submit product 14 to the order. So you can use several verbs, let's say. We say to LUIS service that product is an important entity in this example, and also the number 2, 9, 14. You can even use text.
Can you create a new utterance?
Yeah, we can even create a new one, like let's say another verb, addition, product 15 to the shopping cart, let's say. And after we add it, okay, in this case it is automatically let's say extract that product is an entity, product and the number 15, because we already train it and we already published, so it gets smart from time to time.
Yes, the first try, you have to do it manually. You have to decide what is a product, what is another entity, a date, or something like that. But
Yeah.
after some training, it can detect like this. So.
Yes, and for our project, we included several entities, such as the email, which is pre-built already in the service. We don't have to deal with, let's say, regular expressions. It can be automatically obtained. There is number. Product is a list. actually the people or the users might say product, item, or some synonyms, and product name, such as bike, water bottle, and so on. But still, this is internet. So after we include these intents entities, we train it, then we can even test it here. And when we say, OK, it's working, I think we can actually use it in the mobile applications, we publish it. And when we publish it, OK, I will not do that because of time, but when we publish it, we obtain this application ID that I think you saw here. Yes?
Yes.
It is here. But for our example, the important thing is that in the main dashboard, we can actually select our Luis app, and there is export. Export as JSON or export for container. And we can use the production slot. This is actually how what we provided to the container, the export for container.
Yes, the Luis container needs the zip with all of the information of the models.
Yeah. So it's a GS file, and it is included in the or indicated in the YAML section, right? In the Docker, yes, configuration. And well, I think we cover enough of this bot. There are several services. I think we explained everything. But if you have any questions, you might ask. But before that, well, thank you for your patience, for your time. And well, yeah, there are some links that might be useful for you, especially the last one. If you already know about bot framework, cognitive services, yeah, how to merge all these technologies and then use it in local scenarios, which is this one.
And you can get in touch with us.
Yes, also that might be important. You can send us an email if you want to know about the code or you have any question specific about this or mobile development. And well, thank you. Sorry? Yes?
Yes, sure.
Yes. Any questions?
And we have 2 minutes for questions.
Yeah, there is still some time for questions. Yes, please.
Because the mic is not working. Okay. I got a question about the interface of the bot. So now you've built it in Xamarin, but can you just connect it to a web chat also, the web chat component?
Yes, actually the offline direct line has a link to a web chat for offline use.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay.
Can you try this with any other channel, like such as Slack?
Well, since the objective was to demonstrate local offline scenario, we did not target other channels. But well, if you use the Azure part or bot service, you can easily select the channel, and you get API key, and you connect it to a Slack application.
Yes, you can deploy all of the services on your hardware, and then you can create a secure channel with Azure to get the information from the service connector. You can use ngrok or Stonel or something like that to create the connection between Azure and your local infrastructure.
Oh, basically, it should work.
Yes.
Yeah. If you develop local.
Yes, actually, you can use that for development. You can receive messages from Slack and receive in your Visual Studio using a secure channel.
Yes.
Have you guys tried that?
No, but there is a good documentation in GitHub about the scenario.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the
welcome.
question. Any other question?
So thank you for your time. We really appreciate it.
Yes. Enjoy Build. Thank you.